Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and if you're like me and it's raining outside really badly, then this is the video you need to watch. So recently I've moved into a new flat and left my old place, and as I came here, lockdown was happening and is still continuing to a point, and I was bored and I was starting to relist on eBay, which I do as a hobby. And I thought one thing I could relist would be DVDs. Now, I do have a collection of DVDs myself, which you haven't seen yet, but I do plan to bring you a video. I sat on Facebook Marketplace, just pottering along, trying to work out what I could resell as a profit, and I found an entire box of DVDs. Now, this will surprise you. I managed to get about 250-ish. I'm not quite sure if it's 250, but I got a box with at least 160 in, and another box where we believe we've got at least 50 in. So if we say we've got over 200 DVDs, and I got it for £20. You can't even get that price at a car boot. So this guy brought this entire 2 boxes over full of DVDs. Now, some I'm going to keep, some I'm going to sell, and some I'll donate depending on the quality of the disc, whether I own them or whether I think they'll make a profit if I sell them. So today I'm going to show you the first 50 out of this entire box, because there's a box of adults and a box of children. And I'm going to break it down into smaller little segments. So it's going to become like a mini series. I'm going to show you all the DVDs eventually that I have bought, and then the video I'm going to show you after that will be my own collection that I have. So this is probably going to take a good 4 or 5 videos. So this is the first in the series, and then I'm going to show you at the end of the series my own collection. So let's get started and show you the first 50 in this video. So if you like DVDs, comment down below if you've seen these, if you think they're good, whether you like them, whether you dislike them, and just talk about them down below. Give me some insight on whether they'll sell. So the first one we have is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Now, I haven't seen Transformers myself. It's not really a genre I like, the whole kind of action kind of thing, but I do like the fact that it's got the cardboard case, which is pretty cool. Next one, we've got The Fast and the Furious. Now, I've seen the entire series of this. It was really good when it came out, and obviously Paul Walker unfortunately died. But it is a good series, so I'm sure it will do well. Big Daddy by Adam Sandler. I've seen this like once and it didn't really excite me. Adam Sandler movies are hit and miss, but the little boy in it is just so adorable. Okay, next one we have Gothica by Halle Berry. Now, I've seen this once and I didn't quite understand it, which probably is a bit silly. But some movies take 1 or 2 watches, and I plan to re-watch this. I'm not a big fan of Halle Berry, but I do love kind of thriller psychological films, so that would be kind of cool. The next one I have is Ice Cube, Are We There Yet? Never seen it before. I'm guessing it's some kind of child comedy. I think he spends the weekend with his girlfriend's children, so that should be kind of fun. And there seems to be like a weird animal in the background. That's always interesting. Next one, Planet of the Apes. Never seen it. Don't know anything about it, apart from I'm guessing it's a world run by giant apes. Comment down below if you know anything about the films that I don't. Next one we have is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Get Rich or Die Trying. I believe this is some kind of like autobiography of his life, if I'm right. I'm sure this is like a depiction of his rise to fame, and I'm not really a fan of stuff like this, but I have seen Eminem's 8 Mile, so maybe. The next one we have is Jennifer Cornelia's Dark Water from the author of The Ring. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the Ring movies, to be fair, but this does look like it is kind of like a suspense horror, so that should come in handy. I might sell that one, I don't know. I am trying to watch some of them before I decide whether to put them up. Next we have Mark Wahlberg in The Italian Job. Never seen it before. I'm guessing this is some kind of crime spree of some description. They generally are. Never heard of it. Next one we have is Knocked Up. Now this is absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen this, you should definitely watch it. Seth Rogen is just so funny. I'm not a big fan of Katherine Heigl. I think her acting's a bit flat, but he saves the movie, and it's just a laugh a minute. Oh, next we have Riddick. Now, if you've seen Pitch Black that comes before Riddick, this is what you call the sequel to Pitch Black, which I believe I actually have here as well. Yeah, so I've got Pitch Black, which comes before Riddick. So if you've seen Pitch Black and you haven't seen Riddick, or vice versa, they basically follow on from each other, although you wouldn't assume that by the two names. They are very different, but together they make a sequel. Next one we have is Layer Cake. Never heard of it before, but it does feature Daniel Craig and Sienna Miller, who I have never seen in a movie before. But it does look kind of cool. We have Dodgeball, Grab the Life by the Balls, featuring Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. This one I have actually seen. It's overly ridiculous but funny. So, depends what kind of movie you like. This one everyone loves. This is Men in Black. This is Men in Black 2 though. I was more of a fan of the first one. But this is the sequel. Obviously, the new Men in Black series is a total fail for me. This one, my favourite character is obviously the dog. Next one we have is Lucky Number 7. Never seen it before, but it does have some big names. You've got Josh Hartnett, Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, Lucy Liu, Bruce Willis. Big names in there, but I've never seen it. Next, we have a personal favourite of mine, and that's Van Helsing, featuring Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale. Absolutely love this movie. It's not the best movie in the world, but it's not the worst movie either. So, definitely worth a watch. Oh, 50s doesn't seem like very many, does it? Ready? Blades of Glory. Now, this is overly ridiculous. I've never seen it, but just judging from the front, Will Ferrell in it. I mean, he's just overly ambiguous and bold. Next we have is Sleepers, featuring once again big names. We've got Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Brad Pitt. Never seen it, but it does look like a good movie. Basically, it's from the conventional bestseller. No idea. Next, overly funny again, kind of bland, is The Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. A big fan of Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn, I can take him or leave him. Life's a party, crash it. Basically, they crash loads of weddings to get with women. It's basically a synopsis of the film. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean series. I've watched all of them. Johnny Depp is just so funny as Jack Sparrow. Obviously, you've got Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, which add to it, but you can't beat Johnny Depp. Next we have is Snatch. This is a film by Guy Ritchie. Never seen it before, but once again, big names. You've got Brad Pitt in there. Never seen it, but probably worth a watch. We also have Iron Man. If you haven't seen Iron Man, you've probably lived in a cave somewhere. The Marvel series hit the cinemas many years ago and has continued to shoot out big movies, although Iron Man 1 is probably the better one out of all the Iron Mans, just personal preference. Wrong Turn to Dead End. So I'm guessing this is probably a load of teenagers that take the wrong path, end up of some cabin and get brutally murdered. Possibly what happens. Dude, where's my car? Now this one's kind of funny but kind of bland. You've got Ashton Kutcher, who a hit or miss actor, and Sean William Scott's best ever performance was in American Pie. My own personal preference there, but it's funny nonetheless. Next, we've got Fast and Furious 5. If you haven't seen this series, you've probably been in a cave as well. Vin Diesel does the job, and Paul Walker and Dwayne Johnson also are in the movie. Next, we have Swim Fan. This is a kind of a weird horror movie. Some girl, I believe, becomes obsessed with a swimmer, and it's kind of dark. Never seen it before. Next we have is Fast and Furious again. The films literally hit the cinema and just exploded. You've got Michelle Rodriguez in this one, as well as Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. Too Fast, Too Furious again. Another part of the Fast and Furious series. And this one you've got Eva Mendes appears in it. Then you've got Transformers, Dark of the Moon. Like I said, haven't really seen Transformers, but my favourite character is Bumblebee. He just kind of makes it. Or the other character I like would have been Jazz, because of the music. And then we have a couple more in this first 50. And then if you want to see the other, like 200 I have, you'll have to wait for another video. Next, we have Unbreakable. Now, I believe they've just brought the sequel out to Unbreakable, or what they class as the sequel. This features Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis, and I've seen it once, can't remember anything about it. But I do believe they've just brought a sequel out to this. Next is a Russell Crowe film. It's called A Beautiful Mind. No idea, never heard of it, but apparently it got 4 Academy Awards. Next we have is The Day After Tomorrow, when the world basically goes to the dogs. And it's like an end of days movie, which kind of get boring. Interesting, but boring. Next we have Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin in it. Now, this also features, I believe, Hilary Duff and Piper Perabo from Coyote Ugly. So it's got some big names in there. I'm guessing it's funny. House of Wax. If you want to see Paris Hilton act badly, then watch this. It's a really good idea for a horror film, but it's so poorly executed, and Paris Hilton's acting has a lot to be admired. Next we have a really good movie, and this is Seven. This is Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt at their best. It's a film featuring the 7 deadly sins. It is a bit gory. You need a strong stomach to watch it. Next we have is Hancock featuring Will Smith. Again, this is kind of a black humour in it. It's kind of funny, kind of not. It's a bit hit and miss for me. Next, we have a horror film called The Eye. Now, I haven't seen this, but it's really creepy. Apparently, she's a blind girl who's given eyes of another person, and she starts seeing weird stuff and creepy stuff. And oh, no. I don't like touching my eyes, let alone... No. Next, Rush Hour, Jackie Chan at his best. And obviously, Chris Tucker. Oh, my God. When's that? Mushu! It's just funny. It is so terrible, it's funny. And then, if you haven't had enough of that one, you can watch the sequel, Rush Hour 2. Again, barrel of laughs, really funny. I mean, look at them two. Next we have is a really good psychological thriller, and that's Secret Window. A lot of people don't like this movie. I think it's a work of art. Some people probably wouldn't understand it, and it is a kind of a slow burning film, but do stay the distance and watch it, and I think it's really good. Another Johnny Depp film, Sleepy Hollow. It depicts the history of the Headless Horseman. It features Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp. It's a really good watch. I actually watched that one the other night. And then, if we haven't had enough of the Fast and Furious series, this is Tokyo Drift. Now, people would say that this is a side-alone movie, obviously, because many of the characters, apart from Han, do not actually feature in it, and Vin Diesel only has a cameo right at the end. But I really like this film. I love that Han features in it. I think he's a really good character that, unfortunately, you don't see much of in the rest. Next, we have The Grudge featuring Sarah Michelle Gellar. Wasn't a big, huge film of The Grudge, but that seems to have took off really well. It never forgives, it never forgets. Apparently, it's a blown away film. It's more for me. It's more a forgettable film. And then, if that wasn't forgettable enough, they actually did a 2. I just can't get into these. Not that I don't like the style or anything. It's just not my kind of movie. Although I do love horror movies. Next horror movie, plenty of horror in this, is The Hills Have Eyes. The lucky ones die first. Look at that. So this, I'm guessing, is to do with the sleepy place where people get brutally murdered. It's stomach chilling and survival shocker. Ooh. Couple more. We have The Hills Have Eyes 2. So I like the fact that I have some of the movies I can watch 1 and 2. So this is now the battle goes underground. Ooh. So instead of being above ground, they drag you down with over an hour of extreme extras. Twice the terror, double the fear. Who doesn't like fear? Hands up. Next we have Wesley Snipes' Blade. So this is a really cool film, and Wesley Snipes, I haven't seen him in a lot of films, but I have watched all the Blades, and the first one is personally my favourite. Then we have Blade 2, obviously. I've got to have the trilogy. So Blade 2 isn't necessarily my favourite either, but again, Wesley Snipes plays a half man, half vampire, and who doesn't find that kind of thing sexy? And then the last one in this first 50 is obviously Blade Trinity. Again, it's possibly the worst one out of the entire 3, and by this time, I'm glad they actually stopped making them. I think they could have just done the first 2, but again, Blade Trinity, Wesley Snipes is in it, and you also have Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds to do some bit parts. So, this great big tower here is the first 50 in like over 200 DVDs. Some of these I'm keeping, some of these I'll be selling on eBay, some of them will be going to a charity shop if the discs aren't in good nick. I haven't managed to go through all of them yet. They're literally boxes over there. If you saw my latest vlog that I did, like my Catch Up Tuesday or my Sunday chat, you will have seen boxes of DVDs that I haven't even touched the surface of because there's too many. But I'm going to do some more videos, possibly do the other 50 very, very soon. So keep an eye out. There'll be at least 3 or 4 of these because I can't show you that many in one video or I'd be here all day. So I'm going to do like a mini series. So this is part 1 of the entire mini series. There will probably be at least 4 or 5 in this. So if you want to see more from me, and give me a big thumbs up. These ones will be for sale, some of them on eBay. I will link my eBay down below. I will see you very soon for another video where I will feature another 50 of these. Like I said, comment down below if you've seen these before, if you like them, what you think of them. Try not to give too many spoilers. I hope I haven't spoiled these for you. I did try and give as little spoilers as possible while still talking about them. And I'll see you very soon for part 2. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye.